All right. Well, we have Smol Ame here, run by No, and Pinky, and Scientia.
Scientia. But yeah,
Oh.
close enough.
All right. All right. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I'm No. I'm the runner today.
Hi, I'm Pinky. I'm a mod in Smol Ame Discord.
And yeah, I'm Scientia, and I'll be co-commentator with Pinky here today. So, are we just getting into it now?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, so you can just give us a countdown and we'll start the timer and you can get going.
So, actually, before that, because the category run today it's not exactly self-explanatory what is going to happen. So the audience are going to be a little confused if we don't give a very quick explanation.
Yes,
Pinky,
yes.
will
We
you
have
do that?
a special category today that we made just for Fangame. It's a very cool category. We call it ABC. It's abbreviated for any percent, Bubba percent, and case closed, which are all categories in this game. So he's going to be playing the entire game, all 13 stages, but he's going to be playing each stage 3 times, doing every single category. So he's going to do any percent, and then Bubba percent, and then case closed. And then any percent is just doing the stage as fast as possible. Bubba percent is getting 3 Bubba tokens, and then finishing. And then case closed is getting a certain amount of collectible stashes, getting the Bubba coins as well, and then also not dying and finishing the stage, and that is case closed. And then that's ABC, so that's what we'll be doing today. It's a really cool category. It's going to be about an hour. I'm really excited to show it to everyone.
So the timer starts when the stage loads. So anytime that No is just gonna start here, there's gonna get a load screen, and the timer just starts. You can start it during this load screen.
Okay.
So
you could just
so
say
No
just
when yes, so No whenever you are ready.
All right. Well, let's just go in.
There we are. We've
Start.
started. So the Smol Ame is a very movement-based game. So they see here, it's very fast. Already completed the any percent category for the first stage here.
As always, I know you hate to hear me, but our runner is just seems like his internet just kind of died right away. So we're gonna work that out, and we'll be back for the proper Smol Ame run very shortly. Thanks for staying tuned. See you soon.
Alright, I will be unmuting on go. 3, 2, 1, go. Hi everyone, we're back. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties. Alright, we're going to be restarting the run.
Let's transition over to the right scene and stop the playlist first.
Yep.
Can you see the stream,
good.
Sire? It's not
Yeah,
loading
yeah.
for me.
No, I can't see the stream. No stream here
There you go.
on Discord.
Oh, no,
It's just
No's
loading.
Discord is going. I see what you mean.
Lower the quality.
Yeah, maybe. That might be what got your internet, actually.
Oh,
Should be good
there.
now.
Now we see it. I see it.
That's pretty rough, but it's watchable.
480. 480 lost the race. Let's go.
480, 15. It's fine.
All right, well, whenever you're ready, we can restart the run.
Yep. Unloading screen, right?
Yeah, the timing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Just hop in.
Are we just? Are we
Start
we
timing,
live
yeah.
now?
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay,
you are live.
so
That's cool.
we're already going. So we have restarted the race.
Yeah, okay, we're back. That was actually intended. That happened because Smol Ame transcends time and space. It was a little too much for our
Yeah.
time continuum to handle, so, some technical difficulties, but we're back. Should be fine now.
No's internet got ground pounded. It happens. So, and whilst we were talking, he has already done the first any percent run of the first stage, Ame's office. And as you can see here, he picks up these Baba coins. And there he dies simply just to get back to the checkpoint much faster than having to walk all the way there. So, and as you can see, yeah, and that's already the second run of the run done. So it can go pretty fast, but now we're getting to the case closed category, which will hopefully take a little longer as he has to take his time to collect all these yellow mustaches around the stage. As you can see, there's a counter in the top left corner of the screen. He has to fill that one and then collect all the Baba coins, and then he can finish the stage.
Yes, you also have to complete it without dying to get case closed.
Yeah, which can change the routing a lot, whether you're allowed to die in a category.
Yeah, which
or
can
not.
make things pretty rough, especially in later stages.
Especially in the later stages.
Yeah. Later stages are hard to deal with.
Yeah. The first stage, Ame's office, it's a pretty simple, and as you can see, also pretty quick stage, but it is perhaps the most competitive stage then when it comes to speedrunning the game. But pretty short, and as such, we are, as you see, already through this one. And no comment.
Yeah, this is a meme
No
stage.
comment. And as you saw there, he did kill himself once there, and that's because we use strict definitions for these categories. So you can't get a CC finish and then count it as a Baba percent run. So that's why it's a little constructed, but it was what we felt was the most cool way to do this category. Here we get to Pegaland, which, oh yeah, if anyone has seen the creator of the game, Kevin's tweets lately, then this stage is gonna see quite a textural overhaul, the final version of the game. But as it is now, beautiful green landscapes, laughter raining down from the sky and trying to kill you. You know, the usual Sunday evening. Oh well, Thursday, I guess, but...
And if he's very unlucky, there is actually a small patch going up that hill at the very end where you can fall through the world and die. And we call that getting a true Pegaland player. And you're not a real Pegaland player until you have that happen to you at least once. It can be pretty rare, or it can happen to you all the time.
So this stage is very much centered around these slides, as you see when he ground pounds onto a sloped surface, he gets a huge boost of speed, and that's what this stage really is about. So just walking through this stage can take a really long time, but with these slides, speedrunning becomes really, like, there's a lot to these slides. It might just look like a simple, oh, you ground pound, you go faster here, but it's where the huge difference for speedrunning this stage lies. It's, are your slides good or not? That makes, like, the huge difference between those who just has done a run of this stage and the world record holders.
Yeah, and the main form of movement from this game, going fast, is this thing that we call Bubba Bounces, BBs for short. And what that is you're at the very edge of a platform, a bouncy platform like this,
See there.
and then it launches you forward and also gives you a lot of forward momentum, which you're going to see a lot throughout the run. And that's how you can go so fast in this game.
The game is very simple in that you can do three things. You can move, you can jump, and you can ground pound. But some surfaces are bouncy, as you've probably seen by now. And such surfaces, when you ground pound them, you bounce up in the air, or you can do these bubba bounces, or if you hit more precisely on the edge, you can also do what is called an edge bounce. So it's a lot of the speed running of this game is getting these bounce. Oh, the bonk.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big difference. There's two main bounces. The one you'll see the most is bubba bounces, but you'll also see edge bounces as well. The difference is that bubba bounces make you go straight forward, and edge bounces make you go up slightly and forward as well.
There we see an edge bounce. Gives him the height to pick up that bubba coin. Let's see, does he? Yep, that's the bunk again. And that's simply unlucky timing with the cycle right there, because if you're fast enough, you can just make it above that book that moves up and down, so it makes for a very fast finish to this stage. And again, we're back to the case closed category, taking more of our time getting to actually see the stage. Ooh, yeah, that one can be a tricky one to pull off. So that was pretty
Yeah, it's
neat.
actually very easy to not make the plant tilt down enough to be able to reach the bubba right there.
Ooh, attempt made. I respect that. But yeah, so there's your momentum as you're going through this game, trying to keep going fast with these bounces, as simply running is far too slow.
Yeah, a lot of it's also very precise, and it's very easy to mess up what you want to do, even if you know exactly what you want to do.
There, have to resist the urge to ground pound, or he would have finished the stage too quickly. And there we go, another CC finish, blasting through the stages, but we should also try to keep this under an hour, so good pace from No here. So, moving into Inescapable Madness, a stage based around a painter artist it was inspired by. So you see how many platforms in this stage will appear as you either do something or get close to them and such. But, well, collision is hard. Have patience.
Yeah, it's also an interesting stage because it's one of the only stages in the game where you can actually play any percent and bubba percent both at the same time with the same route.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the category, we do them separately still because it's a requirement.
It's a stage where you can really gain it's in full game runs. Stage is usually one of the bumps on the road, because you can really go fast in this stage, but it's really difficult to do so. It's very easy to mess up and get yourself killed going through this stage.
It's very hard to see when you're going through the stage quickly. You're basically going through it blind. You don't really, you can't actually see or react to what you're doing.
the skip.
No. I can't do
There.
this. Bad at the skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely go through this stage much faster, but it's understandable being a bit safer considering the category because
Yeah, and that's exactly the thing
very
about
risky.
this. Yeah, ABC category. It rewards consistency above everything else. And this, yeah, as we've said many times already, this stage has some really cool and interesting skips, but they're also very difficult to pull off. So
This stage is also
not-
pretty jank. You can randomly fall through any of these platforms like at any time.
at any time. So no taking his time and making sure that he doesn't die, especially now going into the CC run, is very much a part of how you would run this stage in full game.
Yeah, usually any percent and bubble percent runs aren't too different. And then with CC, you get to see a very different route from everything else because you get to see a
Yes.
lot more of the stage.
And of course, something we haven't really touched on is, this is Smol Ame. It's an Ame from Hololive, Amelia Watson from Hololive Fangame. So if Hololive doesn't mean anything to you watching this, then don't bother with that. But just know that all the stages here are based on different streamers from this organization, and they're very much thematic to this specific person streamer that the stage is based around. So as I said, this stage was based on a painter. She does a lot of artwork and such. So with this mechanic of everything getting painted and such, and all the cute little, they're called takodachis, and really setting the mood. And the elevator music. I don't know about that one. And with that, we are through Inescapable Madness. Moving on to very interesting now speedrunning stage. Let's see how this. How you gonna go about this one, because there's a lot of time to save here if you're lucky, and that should do. And like this, he skipped half the stage using the gravity mechanic. So this stage is also slightly difficult in that everything depends on your FPS in this stage, as gravity is stronger under higher FPS. So some of the skips are somewhat difficult to pull up depending on your hardware and such.
Easy skip to mess up. He didn't get it that time, but it saved a lot of time doing it in the first run.
And actually, no, because this is not a pay to win. No might be playing at uncapped FPS here, but this stage actually plays best at around 144, 150 FPS. So if you go higher, some of the skips become... Oh,
Wow, that was
that's
very scary right there. And somehow didn't die, but unfortunately lost a lot of time due to gravity.
It would have been faster if I died.
I call that
It's
one
not
doing the
CC.
Pinky, because Pinky has a very famous run where he did exactly that.
Yeah, I think this is the insert meme here. We've never seen that before. Because I haven't. But yeah, FPS actually affects this game a lot. And I mean a lot. It changes everything drastically depending on what FPS you play on.
And it's not just like higher FPS is better. Different stages have different optimal FPS values. So there's a lot of, if you're running ILs, which is the main thing we do for this game, then okay, for this stage you want to cap your FPS, or this stage you don't want to, but you're not allowed to go too low, because once you go below 20 FPS, the game does not like that.
For the majority, most people play at 144 FPS. There are a few instances where you would want to play on uncapped, but usually it's not as good as 144. And then
there's no
typically you do not want to play under 100.
Might want some
and
more smashes.
60 FPS is literally unplayable in this game. And it also changes the physics a lot.
A lot is an exaggeration, but for a speedrunner, it can be a lot. And nice, with that we are through to the
I think it's a lot.
Yeah, but you're a speedrunner.
I know, but even playing the game casually, like, I feel like you can really tell the difference between just playing at 60 and playing at 144.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Getting above 100 FPS is pretty good for this game. Now we went on to Inumore.
Yes, now we're here at the hardest stage in the game. As we like to call it. It's definitely not the hardest stage in the game, but
this is the noob killer.
Yeah, this is like the streamer killer. I don't know.
Damn.
Usually when streamers play this game, they get stuck on this stage for a long time, even though it's
arguably one of the easiest stages.
Yeah, arguably one of the easiest stages, at least for any percent. I do think Bubba percent and CC are quite difficult compared to some other stages. But any percent is very short and easy in this stage.
Yeah. And there, that one's done. So this stage is really centered around these dogs you can see jumping around that you use as a means of transportation at times, and then these bats, as we call them, which the bats are hostile in that you die if you touch them, but if you ground pound them, you can get a bounce off of them.
Yes, you can also go through them if you
have iframes.
Yeah, you can get iframes if you do a Bubba bounce through them.
And if these dogs... Nope, these dogs will not cooperate today.
That should be fun.
That's not fine.
Nope, it's not.
Oh, that one could be good.
That's good enough. There we go. That's not.
Yeah. Need to look where you're going? No. Because this stage is different in that it continues after the first mom button, as they're called, these the end of stage button, and has a second section where, well, lo and behold, bats. If you don't like bats, then this is pretty bad to look at. Okay. Yeah, decent bad cycle. You can get very unlucky with the cycle there and simply not have a chance to actually make it through and just guaranteed death. Yeah. It's going. And the reason there's a Bubba coin above this one, in case.
All the Bubba coins in this stage are pretty well hidden. If you're new to the game and you're trying to look for them, chances are you probably won't find the first two, I think.
They are pretty well hidden.
And then even the third one can be very deceiving because you might not know about the second half of the stage. Which does make this stage pretty unique, having 2 mom buttons.
No fast second bubba pickup,
No.
but there we go. And
Ta-da.
that section. We can all pray now. Okay, this looks decent. Oh, there we go.
Okay, good.
Our prayers were answered. Prayers to the RNG gods. This stage can be a run killer for exactly this ABC category because you're not allowed to die in the CC run. And as I said, the bat cycle might just say, well, you will die. Tough luck. Scariest part of them all.
And I hope everyone's ready for a banger.
Don't let the background music of this stage get to you. Don't let it rot your brain from the inside out.
Oh, please. It only rots your brain. Everyone else likes it.
Well, you haven't been jailed to this stage.
And,
No chase skip. Oh, but nice
rip
bounce
chase
there.
skip. Kind of recovered that.
Very strange.
So, what he tried to get...
Tried to BB, but got an edge bounce. It's alright.
His the mom button to a good... But the slide was nice.
Yeah.
This stage is rather interesting in that it has a lot of both vertical and horizontal movement. So you need to do, if you want to go fast here, you will be doing a combination of both bubba bounces and edge bounces.
Unfortunately, did not make it back to the pizza with that BB.
He was just
Losing a bit of
impatient.
time there.
Small time.
And there, a little hit bubba coin.
Ooh. Very risky there, I think.
But he made it through. That's a nice time save to get past that. Let's see if he can get the skip this time around. Oh,
There we go.
nice.
And got the skip. Nice.
Chase skip. So the big Caillou will not chase you if you make it past a certain trigger point. Oh, that's
Gonna rip-
Yeah,
but
and
gonna get the bubba coin anyways. So
this is a
So now
staple of the run here is if you do get the chase skip, then the camera is stuck like that, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's not too bad.
it makes up for it by being fast and also giving him the time there he needed, because if he had activated the big Okayu, he would have been chased down and killed for not.
Now, the case
Much to
closed run for this stage is pretty interesting because I consider it to be really tight. Like, you have to get most of the stashes, almost all of them, or it's not enough.
Ah,
Ooh,
oh.
dangerous. And here you see, our first example of an accidental BB. These are things that really can happen because it's really a precision platformer. So any little offset from where you actually want it to be, and very interesting things can start to happen.
Yes, BBs are the absolute tip of the edge, and then edge bounces are just close to the edge, but not the actual edge. You also get a teeter animation with some characters when you're standing on the tip of the edge, and you'll know it's a Bubba Bounce.
Almost nice.
If you do an Insta Pound.
But yeah, essentially, as Pinky was talking about before we got distracted, so this stage, there's two ways you can go about this CC run for this one. Either you have to collect basically every stash here in the beginning so you can do the chase skip that we've been talking about, or you need to risk the biscuit and try to collect them whilst being chased down by the giant OKU, but mostly often you would go for trying to collect every single stash then before that. And with that, yeah, he has enough stashes now so that he can perform the big skip. That filled the stash quota. This camera angle always makes you nervous for where you are actually landing on something.
Yeah, it's also a common mistake to sometimes forget about the third Bubba there at the very end, so sometimes might have to replay the stage as well.
That has happened to people.
Now here we have Pop on Rocks. This is No's favorite stage.
Now we have no back home.
Ready?
So are we
Here
gonna? Are you gonna? Are we gonna get the permission slip today?
No, not today. Couldn't
Not
get it.
today.
Couldn't get it signed.
Why? Oh, yeah. We'll just take our time.
We're psyching the poor guy up. Like mind tricks.
Or not.
Ooh,
That's great.
no permission slip for today.
And here's a new trick, Mr. Knox. Socks on chicks and chicks on
But yeah, this is another banger of a song.
Yeah, as long as you don't play the stage.
As long as you don't play this stage.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about this game is any songs that you love, if you do love them, make sure you don't play that stage, because then you won't love them anymore.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the music in this game is really, really good, but when you have to listen to the same song for literally tens of thousands of times for like hundreds of hours, you never want to hear that ever again.
Ooh, nice bottleneck. Little skip there. Saves the
And
cycle.
we're definitely used to that here in the Smol Ame community.
And nice. This is also a deceptively difficult skip to pull off, as you might just bonk the platform. And, well, there was the last Bubba coin having to balance these spinning cubes.
Clean
That
third
last Bubba coin is gonna be interesting again for the CC run, because it is dangerous.
Yeah. It's probably the hardest part of the run. Or at least for this stage.
Yeah, this stage. Here we see someone who knows exactly how many stashes are in this stage. Because, oh, that's a reset.
Unfortunate death is a reset,
First
yes.
death,
And
then-
yeah, there is no shortage of stashes in this level, so there's plenty of stashes to get, and you're probably like no way that you're not going to get enough for CC.
And that little skip. Snow himself here who came up with that. neat way to quickly collect stashes. You don't go faster, but you collect more stashes, so you don't have to pick them up later.
Vixen, blocks on knocks on box. Now we come to ticks and talks, sir. Try to say this, Mr. Knox, sir. Clocks on fox, tick, clocks on
We'll
fox.
try to say
Bricks, tick, 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 ticks, tock.
the tongue twisters, the Dr. Seuss tongue twisters. Nice, and that is the final bubble coin. And unless, yeah, this last cube can be very
Yeah,
random.
took it safe and didn't BB off the last cube. I think is very understandable.
That is a wise decision. Now we're getting into a new stage. This is one of the newest added stages to the game. So this was not here when when the game was featured last year. Here comes Hope, and this is a very interesting stage, and it plays again with gravity mechanics, flipping the gravity up and down, as you've seen a couple of times now.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with this stage when you're speedrunning it.
Exactly, because
really
you can
crazy.
really abuse this gravity mechanic to essentially there are so many different routes for this stage. I don't think there's really any runners who all do this stage the same way. You have a lot of options here, and actually finding the fastest route for this stage was quite a challenge. Ooh, that's a risky edge bounce there. Nope.
Yeah, we're going the intended route here, which is understandable. Because I think doing pretty much any of the skips in this stage is like super hard.
It's a very difficult stage for all of its runs. All the categories of this stage are very difficult. And as I said, there's so many different routes you could potentially take, so it's always new to see how someone decides to go through this stage.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that was a bubba bounce where it should have been an edge bounce. So here you again see the precision platforming at work. Trying not to die to the spikes. Yeah, nope, get denied. It's good there's someone here to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That was pretty cool.
Didn't die.
Making it just through the spikes. By a bit.
Get there.
Yeah, it's really
Bangers.
interesting when you're doing the fastest route in this stage, because you're doing these sections, like the last section he was just in, you would be upside down.
Yeah.
And then you're very close to the death plane, so just jumping can literally kill you. If you do it in the wrong spot.
And when we originally routed this stage, we did a route that essentially stayed on the black side. Like you can see there's a light and a dark side here. Stayed on the dark side for almost the entire run, but then someone, Skojek, had to figure out that you can actually go faster by switching sides. Oh, nice pickup.
Yeah, really, really 5-head.
Really 5-head.
But
There's
super
some
cool.
very interesting routing you can do here. And this one, this CC, making sure to get over the gravity switch to get the bubba coin.
This is another stage where CC is pretty tight.
CC is very tight for this one, and I would also say it's very difficult as well. There is a lot of stuff you can die to in this stage.
So many things can go wrong. Like that.
Like that!
That's a
Yes.
good example.
Great example of what could go wrong. Trying to
Accidental
get
normal bounce into death.
And this is the one place where the CC route gets a bit of breathing time, where you have to wait to collect enough stashes to actually finish the stage. But with this, if he naturally picks up the stashes that he should encounter on the way, he should have enough stashes to finish up the CC run here.
Gotta be careful
And
here.
this is where it gets intense. So he has to collect this Bubba coin within all the spikes without dying. Nice. Oh, nice. Just for the pitch
Nice.
bounce. And that is CC. That's good. That's impressive right there.
And now he's about to do the hardest thing in the game.
Oh no, he slipped on a banana peel. Oh no, it happened again. Oh,
Now,
is
you
the
might be
run dead
wondering
now?
why he's killing himself. And you're gonna find out.
Well, I don't know if I would say it like that, but so apparently No had a little aneurysm there and died a couple of times, but now he's back to actually playing the stage. But oh, what was
And that's
this?
why.
There was a checkpoint here.
There's a special checkpoint that spawns. There's mercy checkpoints in this game in a few sections of some stages. And if you die a certain amount of times, then they will appear. And we found out that it's actually relatively easy and faster. My god. Faster. Relatively easy and faster in full game runs to just kill yourself 10 times and make the mercy checkpoint spawn instead of just going through the stage normally. So that's why we do that. We do that for any percent and bubble percent.
So we can count the 1, 2.
And it would technically be
3,
faster if you didn't do this
4,
instead, but
5,
this is a very hard
6,
stage to play.
7, 8, 9.
And the key in full game is
10.
consistency, so it's
Yes.
easier to just do this, which is what we call cheesing. This is the cheese strat.
I still got it.
That's still a pickup.
Still a pickup.
Smol Ame has this amazing ability to pick up Bubba coins whilst being dead. Very impressive.
Interesting exploit, I'd say.
Got that in time.
Another banger, by the way. Very underrated stage.
Yeah, this stage has unfortunately been a bit overshadowed. It was released at the same time as Here Comes Hope, which he played before, but Here Comes Hope ended up getting most of the attention from the speedrunning community. So if any of you would like to make your own name in Smol Ame speedrunning, shameless plug in here, then Reflect might be the stage for you. This is again a very difficult stage to play for CC, as there are so many ways in which you can die if you're not very careful.
Yeah, also, speedrunning this game in general, I know we've like kind of oversimplified it, making it sound like it's really simple, because it is. It is simple on the surface, but it's also very complex and has a very high skill ceiling, in my opinion. Once you go deeper.
Platform, so sitting here sweating almost. Almost feeling this movement myself.
Yeah, we moved to the catch-up side now.
Ketchup side.
You only see this in CC because when you use the mercy checkpoint in any percent above percent, it doesn't actually switch to the next side like it's supposed to. So it just looks normal still, but this is what it's supposed to look like, intended. And for anyone out there, if it hurts your eyes, it actually used to be a lot worse. So it's not as bad now.
The sharp red color has been turned down a lot. Well, talking about red, going into Red Heart. One of the earliest stages that was released for the game. Still pretty
Yeah, this was actually the first new stage for the game, which is pretty cool. It's still probably the most unique stage to this day. Very ambitious stage, in my opinion. Sadly, not many people play this stage due to how long it is.
And this is the second to last stage in the run, so we're getting close to the end here. And this is a stage where if you don't like the bubble bounces from you've seen used a lot in the other stages, then this stage is edge bounce galore. You hardly use any bubble bounces at all.
Those big red circles, for anyone that wants to know, normally there's spiders there, but we're playing with arachnophobia mode on. So, you know...
There are people who don't like the spiders, the side of that. And also for speedrunning, it's more defined.
Yeah, it actually shows the hitbox.
Well, arguably. But it's a stage that's very limited by, you saw the final section where he descended into this giant cooking pot, and then supposed to be spiders in this pot getting cooked. That is really, for speedrunning this stage as an IL, that's the defining part of it. Because getting on pace for a world record here out in the overworld, or the prior to the pot section, that's somewhat doable. But it's that final stretch when you get there in the pot that really makes the difference.
I think you ruined that when you put the double bounce at the end going into the pot.
that might be that. You might have a point there. I might have.
Just making it to the pot is hard enough, and then the pot is also very hard. Overall, this is just the longest stage in the game.
Yes. Oh, hit the fake mom button.
I
from there.
almost never do that.
Oh, that's a nice bounce. Unfortunately, didn't land on anything. You can see the pot section here can be a bit of a challenge. That's where it really lies. Nice.
Yeah, it's actually possible to get up through the pot in a very short amount of time, but it's very hard to do.
CC for this stage is pretty interesting, or maybe not that interesting, in that there's
too many
very
stashes.
large abundance of stashes. You can
actually
pick up all the stashes in the pot at the end.
Yeah, you can just ignore the stashes throughout the entire stage and only get stashes in the pot, and you'd still have enough to CC. But of course, that's not optimal.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Not very fast,
Still-
though.
It's just making a
Some
point.
stashes there.
Nice save. Again, another banger of a song. Kick.
Yeah, unless you're Meeps.
I still say this one doesn't rot your brain quite as bad as Mogu Mogu does. This song is interesting here because you really, when you speedrun this stage as an IL, you will really
I know
listen
you
to this
use
song.
it for audio cues, but that's literally just you and no one else.
Also Meeps, back when he played.
Yeah, Meeps doesn't play anymore. It's
Well,
gone.
Meeps didn't even know what the lyrics to this song was. He thought she was saying blue or something.
what?
Look, I'll tell you about it later, okay?
Okay. Still need to get
Still need
stashes.
What's that?
And there we go. Nice time. Matched.
And for anyone wondering, we keep talking about this person, Meeps. He was the previous world record holder for this stage for pretty much since the beginning of time. He unfortunately has retired now, but he is fondly
Very much.
remembered as the Red Heart guy.
And now we're into nothing, which is the last stage of the game. So only... Oh, there's the fall
Yeah,
again.
also not to be confused with Pop on Rocks because it looks the same, but it's not.
It's very much not the same stage.
It is not the
Especially
same at
if
all.
you actually run one of these stages, just the pace is off. If you're used to running one of them and then run the other one, there's quite a difference.
Hi?
And just continue.
Alive.
How are you alive? That was... That's
Or,
a little
I
too
guess
late.
I'm not. That's fine.
Useful skills. Ground pound. To smash blocks or enemies below you or to flatten out bumps. Nothing beats a ground
So-
pound. It's funny because you guys know that's actually
Now. Okay. Now, there you go. It's good we can all be here to laugh at you. know. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
And here we see the interesting mechanic of this stage. Whoa. Yeah, well, you know what's... Okay. Which are these momentum jumps, as we call them. If you're standing on a platform that moves upwards and then jump, the momentum transfers and you get a huge boost to your jump height. Timing this correctly is huge for getting good times on this. And an insta-mom
Yeah,
there, that's exactly
really
how
good
you want
mom.
to finish the stage. Really good finish for it. Otherwise,
Momentum jumps are a pretty interesting thing in this game, but they're hardly used at all.
this stage and Inomori are basically the only ones that see it.
Yeah, this stage was literally made for it. And it's one of the stages that new people struggle with the most.
Hmm.
Which is why it's the last stage, because it's
Yeah.
considered the hardest.
It's pretty high pace. The rhythm of the song and the stage itself forces you to go pretty fast. So casual players will have quite a hard time with this stage, whereas speedrunning it, you're already going fast. So depending on how much you've practiced it, Oh,
Didn't get the elevator skip, unfortunately.
did get the elevator skip.
It's fine.
Nothing beats it. Pound. Last Bobby coin to be open. Can you do the Instamom again? Oh, almost. But now we're moving into the final
The
run.
final
of the run.
run.
Final one. A
Nope.
little early there. It's fine.
And whilst this stage is not exactly lacking in stashes to pick up, it is, if you want to do the fast route, it's pretty tight in how many stashes you need. So might see some slowdowns here to make sure to get the correct stash amount. Nice. Should be a good amount. Waiting to make sure. Can't do elevator skip with this amount of stashes, unfortunately. But go here to pick up some. Ah,
And a very devastating reset.
the
having to
great
restart.
nothing. The great equalizer. as
Yes,
usually
we love
call
to
it.
call nothing the great equalizer, because it is. Okay, am I the only one that thinks it's super weird that that one cube only has 2 stashes on it when it's supposed to have 3?
I think it. I don't know.
I don't know, I might just grab it while jumping.
Yeah, it might
No,
have been
dude, there's
crap.
only 2 stashes on that one cube, I swear. I'll show you guys later.
Yeah, we'll have to go back to that.
So here he'll definitely need to go pick stashes up somewhere else, but it's probably the safe route. Going back to the
oh no.
Not so safe.
not so safe. Here's
Trying
the
to
I
random.
think you need to be a little more safe.
I do.
Okay, we're on
dragging out time at the very end here. It's-
throwing. This
it's
was scripted.
Throwing for
We're-
content.
We wanna reach the estimate perfectly, so this was planned.
all planned.
I don't know, we might be past the estimate with the internet outage.
Well, we are still on time for the planned time.
Okay, fine. I guess it is 3. I'm crazy.
Yes, you are crazy. But that's perfectly good, Pinky. You're allowed to be.
That better be crazy. I played this game for like 2,000 hours.
That would
Yeah.
make you crazy. No elevator skip on this amount either.
But do it anyway, it's just safer. It's just
This you
safer.
get
It's
blocked.
just
Having to go back to pick up more stashes. And that should
That's
equal the
shitty.
amount of stashes he needs. So now just need to finish the stage.
Okay.
Remember to ground pound and pick up the stashes.
And we are approaching the
The
end
end.
here.
So we don't stop time when he hits the mom button here, but once the load screen starts. So we're gonna say now. But so time is now. And that is Smol Ame
Smol
ABC
Ame.
Run.
Kevin's working on final update. I don't know when it'll be out.
Might
solid
be out sometime.
55.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of the run.
that's the run. Hope it was satisfactory to watch.
Yeah, really cool game, really underrated. It's on speedrun.com. We have a huge Discord. We would love to have anyone come and we would help you play, and learn how to play. This game is made by Kevin Cow. You can find it on itch.io. Just search Smol Ame. It's free to play. Download it. Don't play on web. Web sucks.
Don't play on web.
Also, don't play at 60 FPS. If you get 60 FPS, play on uncapped.
Good. That's it. Do you organizers have anything to say here now? I see we've been joined in the room here.
Yeah, there's quite a few of us.
Yeah, we're just around you.
Yeah, we need
Thank
to do
you for
that.
the run. It's so fun seeing the physics of this game compared to a lot of other stuff. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I like the speed and the ground pound mechanics, especially for the physics that are going on here. Yeah. So, how did all of you get into doing development for this game?
Speed running. So
Whoa.
I guess Pinky is the one to talk here because he's been part of this game since the very beginning.
Yeah, I helped make the speedrun community for this game. Basically, the same day the game released, I started speedrunning it immediately, and then I started posting everywhere a Discord link, for the game, and it blew up quite a bit. And we grew and grew, and everybody was. A few Hall Eye members streamed the game as well too. Like Amelia Watson herself also streamed the game a week after the game came out, and that was huge. And the game just kept growing and growing, and there's also updates all the time. And shout outs to Kevin, by the way. Kevin made this game by himself. It's honestly insane and a really, really amazing game. I highly recommend.
A little bit there.
Okay, yeah. The ABC thing, we
it
did invent this category strictly for the marathon, but it's also a real category we have on speedrun.com for the full game leaderboards. So we did make it for this, but it's also real. So it's
That's
not
cool.
just something we made up for no reason.
Last year we did just above 1% run. No also ran there. That was a race between No and Eli. But essentially what we heard from you guys were that you would like to see a longer category. So we had to sit down and think about, okay, how do we make a longer category for this game? And then we came up with this ABC category.
Essentially, ABC is just every category in the game all at the same time.
That's cool. So no, do you run all those as well, or which categories do you run for the small games?
I have played almost every category. I don't think I have a run for every category, but I do plan on it. I have mostly played Pop on Rocks, and I think I dabbled a little bit in Ame's Office Revengeance.
Yes.
Nice. Are all these games, how many different hacks are there of Smol Ame? Or Infinite, I know that guy, I Want to Be the Guy Fangames have thousands of them, so...
None.
None.
Yeah, this is the only thing.
It's a standalone game, and the code is actually very hard to work with, so making mods for it is really hard, and we haven't been able to do it yet.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mega Piggy.
We actually
so
are working on making our own stages for the game, but I'm not going to promise anything right now because it's just being worked on. But you know, there might be a few extra stages in the future made by people, very talented people, by the way. All the people that we have working on the game for like tasks and like mods and stuff are really, really cool. I can't believe the work that they do.
That's cool. Is there like a community for the Smol Ame games?
Yes, there is. There's a Discord. You can find it on speedrun.com or in the link on for Smol Ame on the itch page.
And we also have a Discord for speedrunning Hololive fan games in general, which is essentially run by the same people us who do the Smol Ame Discord. But it has its own set of communities living within it.
That's cool. Over 1,000 members in the Discord. That's awesome. So if somebody wanted to get started with playing this game, you said do not use a web browser, do not use 60 FPS. How would you suggest that they start playing? Is there any like tips and tricks, like go on these levels versus this one? Basically, how would a new person that wants to get into playing this game, what would you suggest that they do?
I would suggest starting with Ame's office, getting a 12-second time in Ame's office.
The
And
first
then,
stage of the game.
It teaches a lot, and it teaches you what you need to know to start playing the game.
And for the technicalities of doing such a 12-second run in Ame's office, I would really recommend then joining the Discord server to talk with some people. But you can look up the runs on speedrun.com to see how they work and such, and what you need to do.
But yeah, FPS in this game is very important. You do not want to play at 60 FPS. I recommend playing at 144 FPS or playing on uncapped. If you're just starting out, playing on uncapped is probably better, but later, once you get more serious about the game, 144 is probably ideal.
And is that because of the inputs? Like there's more than you could do within a certain amount of frames?
There is that, but also the physics are affected by the frame rate. So, for example, let's take that first stage we talked about, Ame's office. We saw maybe he jumped around on some books that were flying in the air. But those books, when he landed on them, they would sway and move away. This movement is determined in part by the FPS. So a lot of things, like just small, minute details, are affected by this.
That's cool. That's like a calculating based off of what's actually happening in the game. So with all the different like mechanics, then every game has its own like quirks. If you're working with, let's say, Celeste platforming, there's a couple of different ways that you could do like fast or slow movements, or different heights, or like maybe glitching or clipping, stuff like that. In Smol Ame, what are your favorite sort of like technical things that you could do with the game?
Honestly, just BBs are kind of fun to mess around with, but there's also super bounces, which were discovered. When were they discovered?
That's a
July
year ago.
26th last year.
Oddly specific.
Of course. But yeah, you can essentially just go really, really high for just a small trick. I mean, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to do, but
there's this thing called a super bounce, and how you do it is you press jump and ground pound at the same time, one frame before you touch the ground on a bouncy surface. And then if you hold jump, then it will make you go twice as high as a normal ground pound. It also ignores all physics of platforms, so you'll just go straight up.
It's important to mention, like, these super bounces, they are not an intended mechanic. It's a discovery
they are not intended.
we did, where you can trick, and we speculate it's because when you press the jump button, there's some effect on gravity. So if you do this perfectly at the same time as a bounce is supposed to happen, you can trick the game into thinking, oh, I have to do this one thing, but it's also already doing another thing. And then you just go really, really high.
So it's led to things like playing Ame's Office in only about 9 seconds, because the current world record right now is 9.2 seconds. And without super bounces, you can't get anything better than like a mid 10.5. And then we found super bounces, and it saves over a second, which is huge. And then you have to do 2 of them back to back, and it's pretty much you can't react to them at all. So you just have to assume that you get them, and it's really hard to do it the right way. And it's insane in high level runs what people do with it.
That's cool. Are there any like? Is there any coyote jumping in the game? And if so, are
Yes,
there any
there
exploits
is
like
coyote
that?
jumping. There is coyote
And-
jumping. It's amazing. We actually call it danger jumping in this game. Not for any particular reason. It is named after a person who was the first person that did it back in the day. So shout outs to him. Danger's
Danger
awesome.
Mad.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
just-
there is
it was-
coyote jumping in the game. Pretty much exactly what you would expect from coyote jumping, honestly.
Gotcha. Does that have anything to do with like the super bouncing, like same like coding
No.
nuances between those? or-
No, it doesn't have anything
No.
to do with that. No.
They have very different tech.
That's cool. Nice. And then as far as like, there's obviously these speed runs where you do all the levels, and then each level has a level timer. How competitive are like the individual level leaderboards?
Well, the individual levels are the main focus of the game. Like, that's what 99% of the player base plays, is just ILs.
There's
We
a bit
do
of
have full
historical
game.
reason for that, because when the game was first released, there was only 2 stages. So playing full game didn't make a lot of sense back then. But
Yeah, the game
has
has come a long
grown.
way.
but yeah, people still mainly play just ILs because it has a nice in-game timer and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, the
That's
game's
awesome.
also still not done yet, by the way. There is going to be one last update, the final update, eventually coming up, hopefully in a few months or so.
It's cool. Yeah, I mean, is this the amount of work that seems like you has gone into this this game has been, you know, just with the amount of physics in there, it seems like it would be a shame for it to go to waste in just like a standalone thing.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's to restart OBS because it's shitting again, so we're gonna have to cut this a little short, unfortunately.
Yeah, no worries.
So
All right, well, thank you, No, Pinky, and Scientia for your playing and your commenting. That was super fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks for having us
yeah.
on again. It was super awesome being here again.
Thank you, thank you.
Cool. So next up, it is Yoyami Dreamer with a duck. Stick around, and we'll be doing some of that soon. Later, all.
boy.
Bye.